Welcome to the University of Kansas School of Law's Career Services Office Boot Camp. My name is Stacey Blakeman, and I am the Director of Career Services. Today, we will discuss how to prepare a legal cover letter. Our objectives for this presentation are to give you an overview of legal cover letters, to set forth the general formatting guidelines, to walk you through an example which shows you how to incorporate these guidelines, and to cover some important tips to keep in mind. A cover letter is a tool to sell yourself to employers that gives you an opportunity to say what your resume doesn't say. The purpose of a cover letter is to craft a story about how your skills, interests, and qualifications make you a strong candidate for a specific organization. A cover letter does not summarize your resume. Instead, a cover letter expounds upon the content of your resume, focusing on things such as specific work experiences, your educational background, your passion for a cause, or why you originally came to law school. These details are unique to you and make you stand out as a candidate. Like a legal resume, a legal cover letter is not the time to show your flair with your formatting choices. It is a simple document, 3 to 4 paragraphs maximum, that is made special by tying your background to the individual employer's needs. The header on your cover letter must match that on your resume. Your cover letter must be kept to 1 page and have the same plain formatting as your resume. Generally 1-inch margins and 11 or 12-point text size in a standard font. Address your cover letter to a specific person at the organization. The content in a cover letter addresses 3 main sections. Section 1 is your introduction. Section 2 is your narrative. Section 3 is the sell, where you tie everything together. While a resume is a snapshot of your experiences, a cover letter is an opportunity for you to expound upon your background and speak with specificity to a prospective employer about how your unique experiences fit their organization. For this reason, although you shouldn't need to edit your resume for each job application, you will likely want to rework your cover letter each time to make sure it highlights how your specific skills will serve this specific organization. The introduction uses 2 to 3 sentences to orient the employer to who you are, what you want, and why you want it. You can use personal relationships, for example, if you have a mutual connection to the employer. Geographic connections, for example, if you are a native Kansan and want to settle down in Wichita. Or industry connections, for example, if you worked as an accountant for 2 years and now you want to pursue tax law. Your narrative is the specific pitch you've created using your background, education, and experiences to convince the employer why you are a good hire for the organization. This section should be 1 to 2 paragraphs and emphasizes what you can do for the employer because of your background, not what the employer can do for you. The sell is where you set forth the action you want the employer to take, whether that is setting up a time to speak further, meeting in person for an interview, or the opportunity to work for them. Let's do a deep dive into an example of a law student's cover letter. Cameron Cruz's cover letter header is identical to the one on their resume. Again, your header will be used to create consistency among your application documents. For more information about headers, check out our video on preparing a legal resume. For the address and salutation, Cameron uses the name of the employer's recruiter and the address where the recruiter is located. It is important to do your research and find out the specific name of the hiring manager, rather than using a generic salutation like, "to whom it may concern." Job postings will sometimes specify to whom an applicant should address their cover letter, but if not, check the organization's webpage or even call their office to see who is managing the recruiting. Make sure you are addressing your application materials to the correct office location. Something to keep in mind is to double-check the title or honorific you use to address the recruiter. If you apply for a position within the military, use the person's correct rank title. If you are applying to a judge, confirm whether they are judge, chief judge, justice, or chief justice. If the individual has no other formal title, check to confirm their preferred gender pronouns to determine Ms., Mr., or Mix. Your introduction section orients the reader and tells the employer who you are and why you stand out as a candidate. As you can see, Cameron emphasizes their enthusiasm for the position and notes their specific ties to the employer's geographic region. This is also the place you can mention any specific mutual contacts you have who are affiliated with the organization. Use caution when doing this and be sure to give appropriate context. For example, you may say something like, "I first heard about this summer program from my mentor, Chris Jackson," or, "After meeting Eduardo Vega at the firm's winter mixer last December, I was inspired to apply." Sometimes name dropping can seem too tenuous, so be clear how you know the person. Overall, keep the introduction section limited to 2 to 3 sentences. Your narrative section describes what makes you a good hire for the organization based on your background, passion, or interests. The goal is to write about these things so the subtext ultimately speaks to your interests, character, or work ethic. To do this successfully, you need to do 3 things. Number 1, research the employer to get a sense of who they are, what they do, and what the culture of the organization is. Here, Cameron knows the firm practices plaintiff's litigation and personal injury law. Number 2, think about your experience and background and what would appeal to the employer that isn't immediately apparent from your resume. In this example, Cameron briefly shares about their aunt's accident and the positive impact an attorney had on her life. Number 3, make a connection between the employer's ethos and your personal experience to explain how you will benefit the employer. Here, Cameron notes how their passion for advocacy, in addition to their hard skills of legal research and writing, will contribute to the firm. Overall, your narrative section should be no more than 1 to 2 paragraphs. The last section ties together your introduction and narrative to make the sell. You should briefly re-emphasize your desire to contribute your skills to the employer, invite them to contact you and include your contact information, and thank them for your time. This is where you set forth for the employer your desired action step. Here, Cameron wants the opportunity to speak with the employer and ultimately to work at the firm. Overall, it should take you no more than a few sentences to make the sell. Here are some additional tips to keep in mind so that your cover letter stands out for the right reasons. Do your research so you understand the ethos of the employer and what is important to them, so you can be sure to emphasize in your cover letter how you embody those traits. Be yourself. It is okay to show your personality. Think about what makes you stand out from your peers and lean into that, but always be sincere and professional. Double-check the firm name, practice areas mentioned, and name in the salutation to avoid mistakes. Do not address the letter to the wrong person or the wrong firm. This happens every year, and it is always avoidable. Give yourself enough time to double-check your work so you don't make one of these cringy mistakes. Focus on what you can do for the employer, not on what the employer can do for you. The employer already knows they are offering an excellent opportunity that will be a great step in your career, so remind them how you will contribute to their needs. They already know they are awesome. Your cover letter is your chance to show them how you are an awesome fit for them. We hope this tutorial helps you as you begin drafting legal cover letters. As always, please reach out to the CSO for more guidance or clarification. Rock chalk!